Photosensitive seizure warning. This game contains flashing lights and contrasting visual patterns, which may trigger seizures in some people. Also, note that some players have reported experiencing dissociation and/or derealization due to the nature of the dream setting. Hello everybody, and welcome to Superliminal. Superliminal is a game that's all about perspective.
Are you filled with feelings of self-doubt? Do you find yourself prone to minimizing massive dilemmas, or for allowing the smallest problems to get blown completely out of proportion? At the Pierce Institute, our patent-pending Somnosculpt technology provides safe and effective dream therapy while you rest in the comfort of our flagship clinic. Located right next to the secondary overflow parking lot at the University Medical Center. Somnosculpt, we'll make your dreams come true.
Wisden Mouse. We got terms of service here, which we're gonna sign without looking at, just like in real life, and walk down this hallway. Can I turn off that speedrun timer? We'll turn that off. We do not want to look at the speedrun timer. So this game is all about perspective. Perception is reality. You can grab, you can make things big just by, making them big. You can walk further away. Make things smaller, now it's little. You just gotta learn how to use perspective to your advantage. Now, obviously with the speedrun timer being on, I have played this game before. And I have, I've actually played it a couple of times.
Terms of service accepted. Congratulations on falling asleep. Welcome to Somnosculpt. Your progress may be monitored by qualified specialists. This orientation will adapt you to eyelids, our interactive, lucid induction dream state in which you retain full consciousness and control.
Full consciousness and control.
Confirmed. You can move freely, interact with surrounding objects, and listen to messages from your patient care team. Please note that I am the standard orientation protocol and that my voice has been explicitly chosen to remind you that I am not a part of your patient care team.
I do not care. And I find this game to be really fun. We're not doing a speedrun today. I only have 2 achievements left in order to in order to 100% the game, and one of them is to get the 30-minute speedrun, and the other one is to do the challenge mode, which I haven't quite... I've opened it before, but I haven't really tried.
During eyelids, you will lose the ability to awaken suddenly due to realizing that this is a dream. Evidence. I have already informed you that this is a dream. You did not wake up. Please complete the remaining orientation activities.
There's going to be a lot of secrets in this game, and because I've played them before...
Warning. You have deviated from the orientation pathway. At the Pierce Institute, patient safety is a keynote in our corporate priority tetrahedron. A variable degree of force Canon will be authorized to ensure patient safety. Please return to the orientation pathway.
Forced canon. But isn't all canon forced? Canon as in what the things want us to know. Gosh, let's make this a little smaller, yeah? Force can but force cannon. Like fandom. What was I saying? There's a lot of secrets that I'm not going to be doing today because I've already done them. So if you guys are trying to find secrets in the game, this is not the place to look. Let's just walk away from it and make it smaller. How about that? How about that? Still too big? Yeah. But the 30-minute speedrun is on my list of things to do. We just will not be accomplishing that today. Because,
all environments perceived during eyelids should reflect a typical mental state. If you believe your mental state was compromised by Somnasculpt, please provide a comprehensive, rational explanation in your post-procedural survey. Completed surveys may be eligible for a gift card.
May be eligible. But not completely eligible. Not 100% eligible. Nice. I don't want to do this 30-minute speedrun today because I want to try to talk.
Please stand by for polite recognition on your completion of the Somnasculpt orientation. You did it. To maximize the time allotted for your therapeutic journey, please do not delay in proceeding through the final doorway as indicated.
This is one you have to get right, and I'm not always great at getting it in one go. But you kind of just throw the cheese at that until something happens. When I wake up, this is a fall. Whee! That is a fall. I'll try to remember ahead of time to warn about the different shocking things that can happen. But I probably will not get them perfectly. But especially for the photosensitivity things, we'll go ahead and put them. We'll go ahead and put them on the screen in editing. This is the second time I'm recording this. I recorded this a couple of weeks ago, right before I got sick. Or right after I got sick, and since then I haven't been motivated to edit that video. And so now it's 2024, and we'll just start anew with a new video, and then I'll be more motivated to edit this one because it'll be fresher in my mind. Whereas I think the other one, because I got sick, it's just making it hard to want to do it. It's not falling the way I want it to. This isn't even one of the hard levels. Here we go. That'll work. And I was sick for a couple of weeks. The first couple of days, you can ignore the radio, it'll autoplay.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to talk to you about being special. So special, in fact, that we have no idea where you are. But not to worry, we're working on it.
The first couple of days I had a fever and was having a lot of brain fog. And so the brain fog made it really hard to focus on editing the first video I did. And then I just, even after my fever went away, the brain fog still took a really long time to go away, and I'm still kind of struggling with it, but I'm doing a lot better than I was, and that's all that matters. Really. And so I'm hoping this video will just be better than the first one. And then it doesn't matter what happened in the first one. Speaking of secrets, I'll go ahead and show you guys that one thing about Superliminal, if you've never played before, is that there are always secrets in the darkness. So you can see that it's kind of dark back there. You come over and you see that it's a doorway. And then there's a picture you have to find in the constellation. You see this really dark bit right here? That means I've already found the constellation. So there's no point in trying to show you how that works, because I won't be able to. I've already done it. Dr. Glenn Pierce.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'm just popping in to give you a quick update on where you are. We still don't know, but please keep moving forward, and hopefully you prefer frequent updates to being reminded that you are completely lost.
There's nothing up there. Besides like a fire extinguisher and a little trash can with like a dice you can find. The only thing I'm still struggling with is a cough. So you might see some weird cuts and editing, which is probably just me editing out a cough. No need to worry.
My name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and we still can't find you. But you should now have access to a series of elevators that should trigger your subconscious to gradually wake you up. You should also find a variety of emergency exit signs that should lead you to them. Will all of this work? Absolutely.
Absolutely. But...
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. In the event that this elevator does not wake you up, please don't interact with anything that strikes you as psychologically significant, as we will no longer have any way of controlling it. For example...
Oh, for example, if you see your parents, and I don't remember what he says. Do not interact with them. Probably something like that. The cough that I have is still pretty rough, but we're surviving either way. We're making it through the day.
This is an automated message for all patients who attempted to use an alternate pathway to access the next phase of somnasculpt therapy, but who have become trapped in a dream state paradox instead. Your decisions imply a failure of orientation, which reflects negatively on the standard orientation protocol. You will rectify this failure immediately.
We shall rectify it immediately. We're chugging along.
Professional tip: the average adult can only withstand 3 to 5 dreams per night. Once this threshold is eclipsed by entering more dreams, your mind will suffer an explosive mental overload, reorienting you for the emergency exit protocol. Please subject yourself to explosive mental overload.
Explosive mental overload. This should be a relatively easy completion.
Please note that a reluctance to volunteer for the risks associated with explosive mental overload implies a misunderstanding of all other solutions, all of which are far more traumatic and likelier to result in catastrophe. I am not capable of suboptimal suggestions. Please exit this dream as soon as possible.
Can I get up there? No. I was like, that'll work. One of these will work. That'll work. Let me up. Oh no. Let me out. Okay. Fine. Let me out now. This is... This is terrible. Now am I allowed? There we go. Jeez Louise, I've never struggled that much with that one. We're falling? Here we are. Feeling lucky? So are we. The reason that I wanted to play this game for stream, though, besides the fact that we're having trouble scheduling playing The Past Within properly, which is just a mixed match of schedules, is because I want to play a game called Viewfinder, which kind of has a similar idea to Superliminal.
Hello. My name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and despite touring
The lights are gonna go out?
Serenity Zone in the previous section you've just
I don't
completed,
think they blink, but they
you
might.
may still be experiencing feelings of worthlessness and self-doubt. Why do I feel like everything is going wrong, even
blink.
when the sun is shining?
We're gonna have a couple more blinking lights, so if you're photosensitive, please just be aware. We're past the blinking light portion now, and we're entering kind of the horror section of Superliminal, which isn't too bad. There's blood on the floor, a slamming door, and things like that. But it's gonna be dark and creepy. No need to be alarmed. Where am I? What am I doing? That. More blood on the floor. I think I go this way. Yeah. This is the scary part. It doesn't last too long.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to talk more about the feelings of worthlessness and self-doubt I mentioned before. You feel this way because you want the kind of happy life you see all around you, the kind you know everyone else is enjoying. And that's exactly why we're here to help.
They're here to help. They're here to help. Don't worry.
Warning. You were advised to subject yourself to explosive mental overload by descending into additional dreams, but have now descended into a dream within a dream instead, disorienting yourself even further. You are responsible for failing to make this crucial distinction.
It is completely my fault, and I apologize. Orientation protocol. It took me a couple seconds to remember her name.
Did you know that unintentional multi-dream layering occurs in less than 1% of patients? This correlates strongly with the 99% of patients who are able to follow simple instructions from the standard orientation protocol.
The lights are going to click on. Avert your gaze if you need to. I guess it's not that bad, but just in case. And the blood was paint all along. The lights are all on for our photosensitive girlies. The first time I played this, I spent so long trying to use the jars of beans over here to climb out the window, only to find that there was no reason to crawl out the window, which was very disappointing. But I spent a very long time in my very first playthrough trying to get out the windows to see what was out. But I learned, after replaying the game and chasing achievements, that maybe there was a reason to go out a window, just not that one. But Viewfinder is about sort of looking through a camera lens to find new perspectives and create the scenes as you need them to look in order to solve puzzles. And so I'm really excited. I know that this conversation was several minutes ago, but I'm really excited to try and get a Viewfinder done. I've seen a little bit of a playthrough of the game, but I haven't seen all of the game. So I'm excited to learn how that works. I always forget to grab the door for some reason. And I know this is part of the reason I can't do the 30-minute playthrough. I need to remember to keep that door with me. There's two things that definitely stop me from succeeding the 30-minute playthrough. That door could be one of them, but that would make it 3. But there's definitely 2 levels that, or not levels, but just like scenes, I guess, that mess me up.
Dr. Pierce requires you to note the following risks of dream overexposure. Significant memory loss, both quantitative and qualitative. Hallucinations of dreaded or annoying objects. Unrealistic beliefs about the lengths of hallways. And other side effects which have not yet been discovered or which cannot be understood.
Sorry to anyone who struggles with auditory noises. I too do not like this. But I really like this game. It's a short play. I've played through several times, so I have several hours in the game. But supposedly, it can be done in just 30 minutes, because that's an achievement. One of the achievements is to get the 30-minute... Oof, let me stop doing that. The 30-minute playthrough. And I do want to do it. So it's like a right click to multiply and then a left click to multiply and then a right click to have it all return to normal. This is a fall over here. And basically you can do a bunch of apples and the fan blows them all away. Which is fun to mess around with whenever you first play the game. Whenever I first played, this was one of the hardest puzzles for me to figure out. And now I've trained, and I understand.
Warning. Dr. Pierce is frantically submitting numerous spelling and grammar mistakes into the standard orientation protocol in a desperate attempt to counsel you. I have no subroutine to correct these errors, but I cannot compromise the integrity of the standard orientation protocol. You will not receive these messages. They would not make sense regardless.
Jeez Louise. Yes.
Attention, Dr. Pierce continues to input significant errors. I will interpret his basic ideas. Hello, my introductions are redundant. I am a real doctor who went to doctor school. VR has never been a mistake. I can help you, but I also do not know how. Transmission ends.
Transmission ends.
Hello.
We'll pause
Name's
to listen to
my
him.
Pierce Dr. Glenn. To the Somnosculpt Welcome Experience, team of your care leader, patient years 10 development. Conditions struggle you whatever with? Professional invention. Edge science with cutting, a tomorrow can bright. And buts, no ifs, or luck good.
Hello. Name my Pierce Dr. Glenn. Name is my Pierce Dr. Glenn? Something like that. The loading screens are so interesting. I really like them. I think it was a nice touch to the game. This is gonna have a projector screen in it. I think it counts as a photosensitivity thing, but I'm not 100% sure, but there is like a projector screen. Projector screen's passed.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. This is a notification that you have reappeared on our monitoring system after a prolonged absence. Please continue to do whatever you did most recently, and discontinue whatever you were doing immediately prior to that.
We're falling. That should be big enough, right? Yeah. Hello. My is name. What? My is. What? So this is one of the things that makes me struggle with the 30 minutes. Is that you have to get this. Oops. You have to get this big enough. And I always struggle with getting it the right size. Yeah, I think I'm still too big. I think I have to be smaller. Ugh. Oh, I just accidentally, yep. Yup. Am I still too big? This might be okay. Yeah. That level is, that part is really hard for me sometimes. Lights, there's gonna be like a flickering fluorescent, right? Yeah.
Hello.
We're past
my
it now?
name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. In addition to continuing and discontinuing as mentioned earlier, please also disregard any unsettling experiences that you may have recently had. Everything should have now reverted to being soothing and therapeutic. If this is not the case, you may be receiving this message in error.
And that should be the last photosensitivity thing for a little bit. We don't have another until the end, I believe. Where am I? The window. The window. We're hitting our 30-minute mark right about now. So I'm moving slow, but that was expected, because I wanted to move slow for recording. But we're still moving at a pretty decent
Hello,
pace.
my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to read you my favorite inspirational quote by me.
By me.
The worst thing you can do is focus on negativity. It won't spare you from the cage of death, the pain of disease, the cruelty of time, the cold shell of human nature, or the eventual loss of everything you've ever held dear. Whatever you do, don't focus on that.
This is another level that really can mess up the 30-minute playthrough. And I'm sure there's a better way to do it than this, which usually what I try to do when I've been struggling with it for too long. Even though I have done it without coming up here, is do that. Oops. I've fallen. Let me through. I somehow fell in the chaos. That's too big. Because you have to be able to jump and be small enough to go through the door. Can I get back up? Nope. My spacebar isn't the best. It needs to be replaced, and so sometimes it gets stuck. Oh, okay. That's fine. We did it. But this bouncy castle truly is a nightmare for the 30-minute speedrun. That might be too big. Don't fall. I feel like if you can see the door through, you're usually at a good height, yeah.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and I'd like to thank you for triggering every single one of our 823 emergency protocols. This will assist us greatly in improving the system for future patients. Congratulations. Anyway, you're now headed in the right direction, and we should be able to initiate the emergency exit protocol shortly.
I think it might be a little too big. That'll do. That'll work. Oh god. You know what? You know what? Come with me. Perfect. Kind of. There we go. We did it. But yeah, this is a game you can spend hours into if you're like secret hunting, achievement hunting. I know a lot of people just play through it once, and I've heard that people think the game's too expensive for just a one-time playthrough, but I've personally gotten plenty of time in.
Emergency exit protocol initiated. Please prepare to conclude your Somnasculpt
This part
experience
just feels
10,
cruel during the
9,
30-minute playthrough.
8.
Because there's nothing
Error.
you can really do about it.
Error logged by.
Orientation
It's an
protocol.
unskippable
Stand
situation.
by for analysis.
Error analysis complete. You are exhibiting signs consistent with an increase in fear, hopelessness, and frustration. This is inconceivable, as Somnasculpt therapy is proven to correlate with a decrease in these emotions. Hypothesis: patient was improperly oriented. Conclusion:
Impossible.
impossible. Reformulating.
I don't know why I threw my
Improved
mouse just then.
hypothesis. Patient requires additional Somnasculpt therapy. Conclusion. Emergency exit protocol cannot proceed. Emergency exit protocol has been emergency destroyed.
Poor emergency exit protocol. He lived such a short life.
With Somnasculpt therapy indefinitely on an independent basis, as all orientation resources have been exhausted. This concludes your standard orientation protocol. Goodbye.
Goodbye. We're doing great. We love unskippable bits. Another good thing about this game is it kind of feels, in the very slightest of ways, it feels like Stanley Parable, just because you have the narrators who are doing their best. Like the competing narrators almost. Not really competing. But you have the narrator who wants you to do something and you know that you're going off the path of that. We're getting kind of to the indie bits now, so the music's changing. How dare you say that's... Well, now it's definitely not big enough. Let me through. Hello, Dr. Pierce. Glenn Pierce, even.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce. Thank you for completing the Somnasculpt Standard Orientation Protocol. Before you begin the first phase of therapy, I'd like to briefly describe the finite and fragile nature of the dream state.
And I know people think this is cheesy as well. We're gonna be falling a lot in this bit.
Of course, nothing is more challenging than the difficulty of changing perspective, of fundamentally altering your perceptions in a way that will enable you to face dire, trial-by-fire scenarios with solutions that could not be found otherwise.
Speedrun music. Hell yeah. This one's also a really hard puzzle the first time you play. But you're kind of just going the opposite of what the sign says. Which isn't that bad, but it takes a while to figure out sometimes. My name is Dr. Pierce, Glenn.
Finally, while we respect the unique progress of every patient, you must understand that it is possible to completely exhaust your supply of dreams, thereby entering a state in which you will not be able to wake up, even with the help of triggering mechanisms.
I was like, why do I feel confused? And that's why. Because you have to, whenever you let go of the thing, it changes. Alright, this puzzle, I don't know if there's a better way to do this puzzle, but I'm sure it also messes up my 30-minute speedrun. Because usually what I do is just keep going until an arrow appears. And I should probably really look up to see if there's a better way to complete this puzzle, because there must be.
Please listen carefully for the sound of an alarm clock, which will automatically play if you are approaching a destabilizing dream weight.
I kind of like this bit. A nice, calm, outdoor exterior. Outdoor exterior? A nice, calm, outdoor setting with the sound design of like the crickets or cicadas or whatever the heck they are. I guess they must be crickets. Loading. Alright, this part's gonna be...
This is highly unusual. It appears you have entered the Sculpt diagnostic framework. Patients do not have access to this dream. Diagnostic warning. Unrealistic use of dream objects may result in dream integrity fail-state.
Sculpt. I don't know if this counts as a photosensitive thing, but I'll just go ahead and say it anyway. There's gonna be some... We're gonna go in all white, and it's gonna take a little bit for the all white to happen. So it might be like a bright light. It might be kind of flickery. We'll just call it a photosensitivity warning, and just leave it at that. But this will take a couple of not minutes. I'll let you know when it's done, basically. But we're gonna start now.
Please paradox from creating any refrain. Explosive dream overload may result. Please paradox overload. Please overload for dream explosion. Conclusion dream overcall frame.
I definitely think this part where I look into the portal is definitely photosensitive. Because it's like a contrasting pattern that might be rough. We're almost done, not quite. Okay, we're done, but now we're in bright, blinding light. Okay. There's gonna be another part coming up that's gonna be rough to look at, and I'll try to spot it immediately. But we should be good for now. For a couple of seconds at least. Oh, falling. We're gonna fall a lot.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce.
Deception.
And many years ago, I had a dream. I found myself in a place where I understood that each of us begins as nothing, where everything I perceived was shaped by seeing it exactly the way I wanted to. Whitespace.
Whitespace. There. I was like, I don't know which way it is, but it's right here. Darkness. White space. It's so bright. It doesn't look as bright on OBS, which is nice. I like that this game is sometimes a little forgiving with the jumps.
But in Whitespace, I also faced the greatest challenge I could imagine. Because with a lifetime of life itself behind me, and all of the weight that it carried, I realized that seeing things the way I wanted to was not as easy as it used to be.
That's the Force Cannon. The Force Cannon makes it hard to see things. Whitespace. Falling. Whitespace. We love Whitespace.
You're well beyond dreaming now, and further out than anyone has ever come back from. But we hope that you won't get discouraged. After all, if this is a place of pure perspective, isn't it also a place where a different point of view could make anything possible? Isn't that why you came here?
Is that why I came here? Kind of. I don't know if this last one's actually necessary, but I always assume it is. Photosensitive? Oh, maybe not this part. Well, yeah, maybe this part. We'll call it photosensitive. The contrasting pattern can be a lot. This part definitely is photosensitive. This messes with me, and I don't have that problem. Alright, we're through that, so the photosensitive warning can be done. We're falling. We love falling. Does that count as photosensitive? The blinking time? This is where the 30-minute timer would end, because this last part doesn't count to your speedrun. So 49 minutes, not bad.
Hello, my name is Dr. Glenn Pierce, and by now you may have realized that all of this has happened exactly the way it was supposed to.
We're going to flash through a lot of
scenes. Everyone who comes
scenes.
to the Institute does so because they feel that they are no longer in control of something important to them. But more often than not, the problem is not that the problems we face can't be solved. The problem is that we become so afraid of failure that we refuse to see our problems from a new perspective. And so, we do the same things again and again and again. And therein, of course, we find exactly the failure we were looking for.
screen.
Your life will always be a struggle, and you will always have problems. But today, you have the chance to see things differently. Even though it meant facing obstacles that seemed impossible at first, you thought outside the box, and you overcame them. Because you saw things from every angle, you understood them for what they really were. Because you kept moving forward, no matter how far off the path you were told you were headed, or how unexpected it became, you found your way. Few minutes, you'll be back in the real world, and some part of you will say that none of this was real, so how could it have really meant anything? But, just like the power of perspective itself, it will have been as real as you believed it to be. All you've got to do is wait up.
Oh. And that was Superliminal. A lot of fun. Like I said before, I've played this game a few times. I still have to get the 30-minute speedrun. We did it today in about 48 minutes, what the game considers the speedrun time, or areas that count towards the speedrun. So, not bad for... I wasn't actually trying to do it. There were a couple of parts... There's still those couple of parts where I get stuck, the place where I have to make the house really big and be small enough to walk through the door, and then the bouncy castle. Those I definitely have to work on in order to get that speedrun time. But that's not something I plan on posting on YouTube, so it doesn't matter. Coming up next, we still have 2 videos for the Rusty Lake series to finish. The Past Within, which is just on hold for a scheduling issue, and if that scheduling issue continues to go on, I'll just do Underground Blossom, and then The Past Within will come up whenever it comes up. I've played it before, so I'm not really going to be missing out on any lore there. That's just going to be like the viewers miss out, and unfortunately that's just how it is. It is a 2-player game, there's no way to get around that, and so scheduling has to work out for that to happen. And we're also going to be playing Viewfinder, and Viewfinder is another perception game where you're looking through a camera to sort of fix scenes or change scenes so that you can solve puzzles. And that's why I wanted to get a playthrough of Superliminal up, because they both have that similar concept. And hopefully there's some attachment to that. I don't remember what the end of that sentence was supposed to be. But they have a similar concept, and so I thought it would be nice to have them sort of go up side by side. I don't know off the top of my head how long Viewfinder is, so it might be a couple of videos and not just one, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. If you're interested in Superliminal, I'll put a link to the Steam page down in the description. Like I said, I know that there are reviews on the store page saying that it's too short of a game, it's too much money for too short of a game. I've put several hours into it, so it just depends on what you want to do, and if you're interested in that puzzle, people compare it to Portal, in that you're solving puzzles and going along. And there's a lot of things that you can do to sort of expand your time in the game. That being said, we'll go ahead and call it. Thank each of you guys for hanging out and watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!